Hello, in this lesson we are going to be looking at some of the smarter, not harder cooking methods that you can start to implement. And so the first thing we want to do is set up for success. And so a little organization goes a long way in the kitchen. Some of the key tips include trying to keep all your cooking utensils together by the stove, organizing your pantry or fridge with groups of similar food types, storing all your dried spices, herbs, salt and pepper together, ensuring that you have appropriate cooking pans and knives to start, and keeping appliances that you use often on the bench. So we want to start with setting us up for success. And so these are some key tips that will help you to pick your recipe. So you want to read through the whole recipe first to see if it aligns with the time that you have to cook, the ingredients that you have available, and the equipment that you have at home. You want to ensure that you understand each of the steps of the recipe. You want to use recipes that maybe have interactive shopping lists, so this can make it easier for when you are picking out all your ingredients at the grocery store. You can use recipes that have cooking videos or demonstrations, and so you can follow along the process with the video. And the last thing to keep in mind is that it may take a few tries to get the process down pat. But once you've kind of practiced it enough, you will get better. And then from there, you can add more ingredients. You can substitute ingredients and add more variety as well. And so some of the basic cooking techniques that you want to familiarize yourself with if you're starting to learn, to build your cooking skills. So baking, that is cooking on a tray in the oven and using hot, dry air to heat your food up. Sauteing is when you're cooking something on a pan over heat. Braising food is when you're browning the food, so giving it color and getting that char on it before adding a fluid to the pot. Poaching is when you gently simmer certain ingredients in water. Grilling your food means to cook it directly on heat and allowing the fat to drip away from the food. Roasting food is like baking, but it's usually at a higher temperature over a longer period of time. And then stir frying is quickly cooking uniform pieces of food that you're consistently stirring in the wok over high heat. And so if cooking is a little bit difficult or you want some other ideas that are convenient, there are a few ways that we can make it even easier. So some quick ideas to cut time and effort include using frozen veg. So usually these are harvested at its ripest, and that means that frozen veggies sometimes can actually have more nutrients in them than some of the ingredients that are sitting in the store for a long period of time. Canned vegetables and legumes, again, these are a really easy way to increase your plant-based food and expand variety. The good thing about these things is they're non-perishable. They can sit in your pantry for a long time, and so you can kind of stockpile them up and use them sporadically in your dishes. Pre-cut or pre-washed veggies, again, this is a really easy thing to use that you can just literally assemble a meal. As it says there, it cuts your prep time and you can expand variety with those foods too. And then other foods like your pickles, fermented veg and dried veg are a really great way to add a little bit more flavor to the foods that you're eating and expand that variety as well. In terms of protein, so you could use ready cooked meats, and these could be things like pre-cooked roast chicken, smoked salmon, tinned tuna, cold meats, or even boiled eggs. All of these proteins are really kind of simple to use, and you can assemble them with a carbohydrate and a vegetable. And then you've got your microwaved grains, which are your carbohydrates. So there's microwave rice, pastas, quinoas, things like that. And so how can you pull this together, and what could a meal look like? And so these are some of the usual ones that I do show my clients, and these are assemble and go kind of recipes. So you could do a rice bowl, and that's based on a microwave grain, some sort of protein, whether it be smoked salmon, you can see there, or an edamame bean. Then you have your veggies, and then a healthy fat, which is your extra virgin olive oil. Same thing for the wraps. You've got a carbohydrate there. The protein sources would be your eggs, your beans, and your cheese. You've got a healthy fat in the avocado, and again, the salad mix for your veggies. Another idea is a burrito bowl. So you could do a quinoa-based carbohydrate on there. Add some roast chicken, some canned corn. Could also add some beans, salsa, and some herbs on top of that. Or you could do rice paper rolls. So this one here has tofu as the protein, and then plenty of veg, and then it's got the sauce condiment on the side. Tacos are another option. They're really easy to make. So you could do taco tortillas and then add the mince and veggies on top, or you could even do a cold pasta salad with the microwavable pasta and then adding tuna, ricotta, and spinach or any other veg that you like. Another idea to make cooking a little bit easier is to batch cook or meal prep some of the foods that you make. So backup meals are a really helpful way when you don't have time or you aren't up to cooking a full meal from scratch every day. And so what I try to do is to make meals that can be frozen. And so these will be things like your soups, stews, pasta sauces, casseroles, pies, lasagnas, and some curries can be frozen and then reheated. And so some of the key tips with batch cooking or meal prepping is to choose to cook 1 or 2 recipes at a time, because it can get overwhelming with the volume of foods that you're cooking. To have enough containers ready, so just make sure that the containers are freezer safe or you're using Ziploc bags. Let your dishes cool to room temperature before freezing, and so this prevents any of the warm foods changing the temperature of the freezer and affecting the quality of the other foods already in there. Portion to individual portions and label with dates. And so it's important to portion out individual portions so you don't have to heat and reheat a large volume of that food, and so you can just literally take out the amount that you're going to have that day. And defrost your food in the fridge overnight and then reheat. So we're trying to kind of reduce going from one extreme temperature to the other, so you want to defrost slowly in the fridge and then slowly reheat from there. Another way to approach leftovers or some of those batch cook meals is to use that one meal but have a few variations of it throughout the week. So to reignite some leftovers, particularly your proteins, these can be incorporated into salads, wraps, sandwiches, or fried rice. You could shred that protein and add it to a homemade noodle or noodle soup or stew, or it can be stuffed into a vegetable like tomato or capsicum and baked. Ways to use leftover carbohydrates. So you can use the pasta or legumes leftover, and these can be added to soups, casseroles, or salads. Rice can be made into fried rice if you add, some protein, eggs and vegetables and stir fry that. Tortillas and English muffins or pita breads can be used as a base for homemade pizza or even eaten with some dip. And if you crush dried bread, this can make breadcrumbs to coat a protein like your chicken or fish, or topped on salads or casseroles. Leftover plant-based foods and veggies, so extra roast veg can be incorporated into rice, quinoa, or couscous bowl. You can also add it into an omelette. You can use the veg to make dips for snacks or purees for soup bases. Extra fruit can be used in smoothies, fruit breads, or loaves. And any combination of cooked vegetables can be added to a pasta dish, gratin, salad, lasagna, or quiche. And so what about snacks? So snacks are a really good way to expand variety. They can also help you to get a few more nutrients between meals and stabilize your blood sugars. So what type of snack should you be choosing? And it really depends on your food preference and what you feel like and your desires. So you can kind of choose snacks depending on their texture or a flavor that you're craving. So some of the examples of crunchy snacks include raw vegetable sticks, nuts, seeds, whole grain crackers, or fresh fruit. Creamy style snacks would be cheese, yogurt, hummus, avocado, chia pudding, guacamole, or any other dip. Sweet style snacks are fruit, chocolate, biscuits, muesli bars, protein balls, or nut butters. Savory, salty snacks could be cheese, roasted chickpeas, nuts, seeds, popcorns, crackers, chips, jerky. So it really depends on what you feel like, and again, because all foods fit, you could have any snack that you genuinely want. So some of the other tips to choose your snack. So you want to pick the type of snacks that you actually want to eat. And when you do have that snack, you still want to practice that mindful eating or engaging your senses while you have it. You can tune into your fullness signals and gauge when to stop with these snacks, and then you can move on with your day. So what we want to do is try to not feel overly guilty about the types of snacks we eat or the volume of snacks that we're eating. So some of the benefits of having snacks, to build on what we were saying before, they provide a boost of energy if several hours have passed between your meals and your blood glucose levels begin to drop. They help to curb your appetite and prevent overeating at your main meals. They provide extra nutrients, so things like your proteins, carbs, fibers, vitamins, and minerals, and they can help to maintain adequate nutrition if one has poor appetite or low appetite, but cannot eat a full-sized meal, and this could be due to illness. So ultimately, the foods that we choose make a real difference, not only to our nutrition, but also our relationship with foods. Thank you so much for listening to this lesson. I have activities that you can start putting into practice from this module's guidebook. And remember to please like, subscribe, or share this video with others who may find it helpful.